There comes a moment in every person's life when the road ahead seems closed, when you stand face to face with something that feels immovable, a wall, a rejection, a delay, a failure. You push with all your might and it doesn't move. You shout at the heavens asking, "Why me? Why now?" And in that silence, the truth whispers back, the obstacle is not blocking your path, the obstacle is your path. Every great soul who has walked this earth discovered this same law, that the very trial meant to break you is the trial meant to make you. Edison did not find light by avoiding darkness. He found it by stumbling through thousands of failures until the dark itself taught him what light required. Ford did not build his empire by waiting for ideal circumstances. He forged vision out of ridicule, bankruptcy, and relentless rejection. And Lincoln did not rise to lead a divided nation because life made it easy for him. He rose because life made it hard. You see, the obstacle is not a punishment. It is preparation. Life is not happening to you, it's happening for you. The mountain that stands before you is not meant to be admired from a distance. It's meant to be climbed. Because what you conquer in the world means nothing compared to what you conquer within yourself. Every obstacle conceals a lesson, a gift wrapped in difficulty. The weak turn away from it. The wise lean in. They understand that adversity is not an interruption in the journey, it is the journey. It shapes your faith, carves your character, and reveals your hidden strength. The obstacle is not your enemy, it is your instructor, and the lesson will repeat itself until you learn what it came to teach. The universe does not hand you growth on a silver platter. It sends it disguised as challenge. When you ask for strength, you are given struggle. When you ask for wisdom, you are given confusion. When you ask for success, you are given resistance. Because these are the conditions in which power is born. Gold is not created in comfort. It is refined in fire. The mind of man, like steel, is tempered only by pressure. That is why the most brilliant lights in history have walked through the darkest valleys. Carnegie faced poverty. Jobs faced humiliation. Disney faced bankruptcy. And each of them could have said, "This obstacle is in my way." But they understood something sacred. The obstacle was the way. The very resistance that tried to stop them became the resistance that strengthened them. Do not despise your difficulty. Do not curse your detour. Life's delays are not denials. The seed must push through soil and stone before it ever sees the sun. The eagle must fight against the wind to learn how to soar. The diamond is only born through crushing pressure. Why then should you expect your destiny to arrive without friction? Understand this. The path to greatness will never appear smooth because smooth paths create weak travelers. Every setback you endure is sculpting your resolve. Every heartbreak is deepening your compassion. Every rejection is redirecting your purpose. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. It is easy to praise the victory, but wisdom is born in the valley. It is there in the silent nights of struggle that you meet your true self, stripped of comfort, stripped of applause, stripped of illusion. And what remains when all else is taken is the foundation of your power. You cannot develop courage in a world that never tests you. You cannot master patience in a world that always moves on your command. And you cannot evolve into greatness while clinging to comfort. The obstacle is not standing in your way, it is showing you the way. When a river meets a rock, it does not stop. It finds a way around, over, or through. And when life places a rock before you, you have the same choice to see it as a wall or to see it as a teacher. The moment you shift your perception, the moment you realize that the obstacle is not your limitation but your invitation, everything changes. This is the secret of alchemy in the human spirit. It is not about turning lead into gold. It is about turning adversity into advancement, frustration into fuel, pain into power. You are an alchemist of your own fate, but only if you stop resisting the process. Do not waste your energy asking, "Why is this happening to me?" Ask instead, "What is this teaching me? How is this molding me? How can I use this?" Because the obstacle is not sent to stop you. It is sent to wake you, to sharpen you, to reveal what you truly are. The person who never fails, never grows. The person who never suffers, never evolves. And the person who never faces resistance, never learns how to fly. There are no shortcuts in nature. Even the caterpillar must dissolve into nothing before it becomes a butterfly. That is the price of transformation. So when you face difficulty, when your plans collapse, when doors close, when the road turns rough, do not retreat. Step forward, because within that very obstacle lies the treasure you seek. Within the failure lies the formula. Within the delay lies the direction. Within the pain lies your purpose. The obstacle is not the end. It is the beginning of your becoming. The mind that understands this truth becomes unstoppable, because while others see opposition and stop, you see opportunity and move. While others see the mountain and turn back, you begin to climb. And while others spend their lives complaining about resistance, you understand that resistance is the path to mastery. It is the gymnasium of the soul. Every obstacle is a weight designed to build your strength. If you stop lifting, you grow weak. If you embrace it, you grow powerful beyond measure. That is the law of life. That is the rhythm of growth. And once you learn to dance with difficulty instead of running from it, once you embrace the obstacle as your greatest ally, then every challenge becomes a stepping stone to greatness. You cannot escape the obstacle, but you can transcend it. You can learn to use it, to redirect its force like a master of momentum, like a storm that learns to sail with the wind, not against it. That is the art of the undefeatable mind, because defeat is not what happens to you. It's what happens in you when you stop believing that you can rise again. And as long as you are breathing, as long as your heart still beats with purpose, the story is not over. The obstacle cannot define you. It can only refine you. So when life tests you, when everything seems to go wrong, when the dream feels distant, remember this truth carved into the foundation of all greatness. The obstacle is not in your way. The obstacle is the way. The greatest battles you will ever fight are not in the world outside of you. They are in the invisible world within. It is not the mountain that stops most men. It is the pebble in their shoe. It is not the enemy on the battlefield that destroys potential, but the enemy in the mind that whispers. You can't understand this. Your results are not determined by your conditions, but by your consciousness. Two people can face the same storm. One curses it and sinks. The other harnesses its wind and sails. The difference is not in the waves, but in the will. It is not what you face that decides your fate. It is what you believe about what you face. When you understand that, the obstacle loses its power to intimidate, because you realize that every limitation begins in the mind, and every liberation begins there too. You are never truly defeated by circumstances, only by interpretations. And the moment you change the story you tell yourself about the struggle changes shape. Pain becomes purpose, fear becomes fuel, and resistance becomes revelation. Your thoughts are architects. They are constantly building the house you live in. If you fill your mind with doubt, your reality will mirror that doubt. If you fill it with faith, the world bends toward your belief. Every man who has ever achieved greatness first conquered the empire within before he commanded the empire without. Carnegie, when he faced financial collapse, did not surrender. He said, obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal. Lincoln, facing ridicule and loss, held his gaze on freedom. Edison, mocked as a fool, held his mind on light. These men saw the obstacle not as an end, but as a test, a divine invitation to prove that their vision was stronger than their circumstances. And so must you, because you are not defined by the storm, but by the stance you take within it. You may not control the winds, but you control the sail. You may not control the waves, but you decide whether to drown or to rise. And make no mistake, the same water that drowns the weak lifts the strong. The moment you accept responsibility for your mind, you take back power from the world. You no longer wait for things to get easier. You become stronger. You stop begging for opportunities. You create them. You stop pleading for doors to open. You build your own door. That is the essence of greatness, to be unmoved by circumstance and to mold reality through conviction. It is easy to have faith when the path is clear, but real faith begins when logic ends, when you cannot see the way forward, but still walk, when you have every reason to quit, but still rise. That is when destiny begins to take shape. That is when the universe, seeing your unwavering resolve, starts to move mountains for you. The obstacle is never greater than the mind that believes. If you can hold the image of victory long enough, the path will reveal itself in time. But if you lose the image, if you surrender to fear, even the simplest road will feel impossible. So train your mind as you would train your body. Feed it daily with vision. Guard it fiercely from negativity. Surround it with ideas, people, and habits that lift you, because you cannot plant seeds of greatness in the soil of doubt and expect a harvest of success. Every day you are rehearsing your future. through your thoughts, your words, your emotions. If you keep rehearsing defeat, life will hand you defeat. If you keep rehearsing victory, life will bend toward victory. The law is unchangeable. As a man thinketh, so is he. And yet thinking alone is not enough. Belief without action is like a seed that never touches soil. You must act, not when conditions are perfect, but because the obstacle itself is your condition for growth. Do not wait for courage. Act, and courage will appear. Do not wait for motivation. Move and momentum will awaken, because motion itself is medicine for fear. You cannot think your way out of every problem, but you can act your way through it. The obstacle exists to be met, not avoided. The only true failure is refusing to face it. When a blacksmith shapes iron, he does not whisper to it. He strikes it again and again until the metal yields to his vision. The heat, the hammer, the resistance, all necessary to bring forth strength. So too are your trials shaping you, tempering you, forging you into something unbreakable. Every obstacle is a hammer blow of destiny, not to destroy, but to design. You will find in time that the people who rose to greatness were never the ones who avoided pain, but those who learned to use it. They took the weight of struggle and turned it into leverage. They converted tears into determination. They took the very energy that tried to stop them and used it to rise higher. They became alchemists of adversity, transforming obstacles into opportunities through the fire of persistence. Persistence, that sacred word that divides the dreamers from the doers. The weak surrender at the first sign of difficulty. The strong see difficulty as proof they are on the right path, because if there is resistance, it means there is movement, and if there is movement, there is life. The dream does not test the faint-hearted. It waits for the one who refuses to quit. It waits for the man or woman who can stand in the fire and still believe, who can lose everything, yet remain rich in spirit, because wealth is not measured in possessions, but in persistence, and fortune is not found in ease, but in endurance. When you face an obstacle, remind yourself, this is the universe's way of asking, how much do you want it? And if your answer is with everything I am, then no obstacle can stand against you. For every wall you hit is not the end of the road. It is a door disguised, waiting for you to find the key of persistence. Understand this. The obstacle is not sent to test your patience. It is sent to reveal your power. It is proof that the goal you seek has value, because if it were easy, everyone would have it. The struggle is the signature of greatness. It is the mark that you are being molded for something magnificent. So when you feel resistance, smile. When you feel pressure, breathe deeper. When the road turns rough, walk anyway, because you are not walking toward success. You are walking through it. Every challenge you overcome becomes part of your foundation. Every failure becomes fuel. Every fall becomes a future rise. The obstacle is not. You are ready to grow, ready to evolve, ready to become who you were meant to be. The obstacle is the way, not because it makes life easier, but because it makes you stronger. It is the divine sculptor, carving away the weakness, the fear, the hesitation, revealing the masterpiece within. So do not ask for the obstacle to move. Ask instead for the strength to move through it. Do not pray for lighter burdens. Pray for broader shoulders. For every great soul before you was tested the same way, and the fire that forged them is the same fire that now calls to you. Remember, pressure is not punishment. It is potential waiting to be unlocked. The obstacle is not the end, it is the beginning of your greatness. Do not mistake delay for denial. Every dream has its season, and no seed blooms before its appointed time. You cannot rush the harvest, you can only prepare the soil. You can only water it daily with belief, action, and endurance. When nothing seems to move, that is when everything is happening beneath the surface. Invisible roots are being built, foundations strong enough to carry the weight of the success that will soon come. You think you are waiting on life, but often life is waiting on you, waiting for you to grow into the person capable of holding what you've asked for. Patience, my friend, is not passive. It is active faith. It is the quiet confidence that what you've planted will come to pass, not because you wish it, but because you have earned it. Those who lack discipline will call it waiting. Those who possess vision will call it preparation. There will come moments when the darkness feels endless, when progress feels invisible, when hope feels foolish, and that is where most people give up, but not you, because you understand that the obstacle is not blocking your way, it is the way. The obstacle is refining you, revealing you, teaching you what comfort never could. If success came without struggle, it would crumble the moment pressure arrived. If gold were not placed in fire, it would remain dull metal. The pressure you feel is proof of transformation. Do not run from it. Lean into it. You are being prepared for something greater than ease. You are being prepared for impact. The obstacle is building endurance, sharpening focus, and hardening resolve. Without resistance, you would never discover the full capacity of your strength. Without opposition, your potential would remain theory, not truth. Discipline is the bridge between desire and destiny. Anyone can wish, few can work. Anyone can dream, few can endure. You must learn to do what must be done, whether you feel like it or not. You must rise when the body resists, act when fear whispers, persist when results hide. That is the law of success, to command yourself when the world cannot command you. The mind left untrained will seek ease, comfort, and escape. But the trained mind, the master mind, seeks growth, challenge, and purpose. It does not wait for conditions to align. It creates alignment through discipline. When you train your thoughts to obey your purpose, you become unstoppable. Remember, the man who conquers himself is greater than the man who conquers a city, for cities can be rebuilt. But a weak mind, left undisciplined, can destroy everything. The obstacle is your training ground. It exists to reveal whether you are the master or the slave of your emotions. When fatigue whispers, rest, ask yourself, have I earned it? When doubt says you can't, respond, watch me. When failure knocks, open the door, not with fear but with focus. Because failure is not the opposite of success. It is the process of success. Thomas Edison once said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Do you see? Each obstacle, each setback was a stepping stone, each one bringing him closer to the light that would illuminate the world. The obstacle wasn't punishment. It was perfection, the exact resistance required to reveal genius. The same is true for you. Every setback hides a setup. Every rejection hides redirection. Every closed door hides divine protection. What you perceive as denial may simply be delay, for your readiness determines your reception. There is no wasted struggle when the heart remains faithful. There is no lost time when the spirit remains teachable. There is no final failure when the will to rise still lives within you. The secret is to stay in motion. Keep moving forward, even if it's an inch, even if it's slow, even if you crawl, because consistency compounds. A single drop of water may seem powerless, but over time it carves valleys through stone, and so too does persistence carve through impossibility. Do not let temporary defeat convince you of permanent failure. The men who built empires were once men who had nothing but vision and grit. Henry Ford was told his idea was impossible. Disney was told he lacked imagination. Jobs was fired from his own company. Yet every setback became a spark. Every obstacle became the way forward. It was never ease that built their names. It was endurance. It was the relentless decision to rise again, to trust again, and that same power, that same persistence, lies dormant in you, waiting to be awakened. The moment you stop running from the obstacle and begin studying it, you transform, because hidden within every difficulty is a direction. Hidden within every pain is a principle, and hidden within every closed door is an opportunity to strengthen your purpose. Ask not, why me? Ask, what is this teaching me? Ask not, when will this end? Ask, how can I rise higher through this? Because the questions you ask determine the life you live, and the mind that learns to see meaning in the struggle becomes immune to despair. There is no power greater than a mind aligned with faith and fueled by discipline, because once you know that the obstacle is the way, life no longer frightens you. You cease to pray for easy paths. You pray for stronger legs. You stop asking for shorter roads. You ask for greater endurance. You stop begging for less struggle. You thank the struggle for shaping you into someone worthy of the dream. The greatest freedom is not escaping difficulty, but mastering your response to it, because freedom without discipline is chaos, and success without struggle is fragile. But the soul that has walked through storms, the spirit that has been tested by fire, that one cannot be broken. It is written, to whom much is given, much is required. So if your journey feels heavy, it is because your destiny is vast. If your road feels rough, it is because your purpose is great. And if the obstacle stands tall, it is because it was designed to reveal the giant within you. Do not fear the weight. Grow stronger beneath it. Do not curse the delay. Grow wiser within it. For every obstacle is not against you, but for you. Every resistance is not rejection, but redirection, guiding you toward mastery. So you cannot become gold without fire. You cannot become unshakable without being shaken. You cannot become a creator of destiny without first conquering the doubt within. And when the day comes, when the struggle breaks, when the light appears, you will not only have reached your goal, you will have become it. You will have realized that success was never about the destination. It was about the transformation, because the obstacle did not stand in your way. It was the way, the narrow path that only the brave walk, the sacred road where purpose and power meet. So walk boldly, walk with faith, and when the obstacle rises before you once again, as it always will, smile and whisper, "Welcome, my teacher. Let's begin." The moment you finally stop fighting the storm, you realize the storm was never sent to destroy you. It was sent to build you. Every gust of wind, every wave that threatened to drown you, was shaping you into someone who could walk on water. Life was never meant to be easy. It was meant to be meaningful. Ease breeds weakness. Struggle breeds strength. Comfort creates complacency. Challenge creates champions. The man who learns to smile in pain, to work in silence, to rise in the dark when no one is watching, that man cannot be defeated, because he no longer seeks validation. He seeks victory. He no longer fears the fall. He respects it, learns from it, and climbs higher each time. The obstacle is not your punishment. It is your purification. It is burning away the laziness, the fear, the excuses, the weakness, until only your purest form remains. It is removing the noise so you can finally hear your inner voice, the one that says, "You were born for more." You see, greatness is not found in the spotlight. It's forged in the shadows. It's in the nights you doubted yourself, but still showed up. It's in the days you had nothing left but gave anyway. It's in the moments when the world said no, and you whispered, "I'll try again." The obstacle reveals your hunger, because when everything is stripped away, the applause, the comfort, the support, what remains is your why, and your why is the fire that never dies. You can tell the size of a man's destiny by the size of the obstacles that rise against him. Lesser men crumble under small storms, but you are being prepared for a flood of blessings so powerful that the old version of you could not contain it. That is why you are being stretched, challenged, and tested, because expansion always feels like breaking before it becomes breakthrough. Pain is the price of power. Sacrifice is the soil of success. And faith is the bridge between where you are and where you are destined to be. Every legend was once a student of suffering. Every conqueror was once a victim who refused to stay down. Every hero was once a soul that said, "Enough," and that moment of defiance, that decision to rise again, is what separates those who dream from those who do. Understand this. The obstacle is not happening to you. It's happening for you. It's molding your patience. It's chiseling your focus. It's teaching you emotional control, mental toughness, spiritual resilience, because destiny is not handed to the weak. It's entrusted to the disciplined, and the universe only gives power to those who have proven they can handle it. So when life throws weight at you, don't ask for lighter burdens. Train for stronger shoulders. When people doubt you, don't waste your breath proving them wrong. Prove yourself right. When you fall, don't stay there. Rise faster, louder, stronger, because success is not a straight climb. It's a spiral staircase. Every loop of failure brings you closer to the summit, if you have the courage to keep climbing. It's easy to believe when everything is going right, but real faith, unshakable faith, is believing when nothing makes sense. It's trusting the process when the results are invisible. It's saying thank you, even while it hurts, because you understand that divine order is not always visible, but it is always perfect. And one day you will look back and realize, Every unanswered prayer was protection. Every setback was direction. Every delay was preparation. Every obstacle was guidance, leading you here to the exact place you were meant to be. The obstacle, my friend, was the map. You thought it was in your way, but it was drawing the path, step by step, trial by trial, loss by loss, guiding you toward your higher self. Without it you would have stayed comfortable, complacent and small, but through it, you became powerful, purposeful and unstoppable. The universe will not hand you greatness. It will hide it behind obstacles to see if you're worthy. And when you break through, when you show persistence that no failure can kill, that's when the gates open. The obstacle didn't delay your destiny. It designed it. It turned a simple dream into divine purpose. It transformed a wish into a warrior. And now you stand stronger, wiser and more grounded than ever before. The mountain that once intimidated you now stands beneath your feet. The wall that once blocked you is now the foundation beneath your victory. And the pain that once broke you is now the reason you can inspire others to rise. That is the true power of the obstacle. It not only changes you, it changes everyone you touch, because your scars become stories. Your struggles become blueprints. Your rise becomes proof that faith works, that resilience wins, that nothing is wasted. So the next time you face resistance, remember this truth. You are not being buried. You are being planted. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. And the obstacle before you is not blocking your way. It is the way. The great secret of all who succeed, Napoleon Hill, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Carnegie, is this: they stopped wishing for ease and started mastering difficulty. They stopped asking for shorter roads and started building stronger legs. They stopped running from pain and started turning pain into power, because that is how destiny is built, not through comfort, but through courage, not through avoidance, but through action, not through luck, but through unwavering, disciplined faith. And so now it is your turn. The obstacle before you is your invitation to rise higher, to dig deeper, to become the version of yourself your future depends on. Do not waste it. Do not complain about it. Do not fear it. Embrace it. Study it. Walk through it. Because when you do, when you stop seeing the obstacle as the enemy and start seeing it as the architect, you will awaken a power within you that nothing can destroy. And when that moment comes, when you stand victorious on the other side, you will finally understand the truth. It was never luck. It was never chance. It was the obstacle, the sacred fire that burned away weakness, revealing only strength, faith and greatness. The obstacle was the way. It always was. It always will be. Now go. Face your obstacle, not with fear but with fire, not as a victim, but as a creator. Because destiny does not belong to the comfortable. It belongs to the courageous. And you are ready.